right, y'all. It is time to focus, LBK. This is your brother, Robert Jenkins, welcoming you to episode 73 of the Focus LBK show. Today, we got a lot of stuff on deck that I wanted to kind of mention. We're going to start off talking about Village Picture Day and also another couple of events that we got coming up, the Rhythm and Rhyme Open Mic Night. And then we're going to talk about a film that we got coming up. And we might be doing a premiere for that film. And we've been looking on Ancestry.com. We found a lot of interesting stuff there. And, we started doing some exercising, and we started doing an hour walk. I'm going to get into what I saw my first hour walk yesterday. But as I say, before we get into that, let's talk about Village Picture Day. Now, I know that may sound kind of a strange event, but I'm a photographer, a videographer, content creator, and I'm a historian. I love documenting the history of of Lubbock in general, the people of Lubbock, Texas, but especially the ELBK, East Lubbock. Now, Village Picture Day really is it's a way for me, for our crew here at Focus LBK, to ask you to bring us pictures. But we don't want to ask y'all to bring us pictures without giving you something in return. So on Village Picture Day, which is this Saturday, February the 8th at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. down at the Cavilles Museum of African American History. That's this Saturday, February 8th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Cavilles. Now, this Village Picture Day, what it is you bring us some of your old school pictures, and we inviting everybody to come on out. You don't necessarily have to make an appointment, but you come on out and you bring us your pictures from the 90s and before. We prefer, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s of you and your fam chilling in the ELBK back in the day. Bring us those pictures. Now come dressed up, because we going to take your pictures. Now, we ain't going to take no pictures. We're going to make your pictures. See, making pictures is what they used to call it back in the day. And that's what I try to do. I try to make pictures. We don't just take pictures. We make pictures. So if you come on out and check us out over at Cavilles on the 8th, we will make you a black and white, old school, timeless picture. Every time I see black and white, it just looks timeless. You know what I'm saying? When you see black and white pictures from the old days, man, it looks elegant and classy. I love seeing that. That's why we're doing it this way. So you come on out. We'll make you a timeless, monochromatic picture, and we'll take your old school pictures and we're going to scan them. Now, the reason we're going to scan them is because we're making a video. We're making a film, a documentary about the village. In case you're not aware, the village is it's East Lubbock, really from about the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And what it was a close-knit, walkable community. We were still segregated and compacted into the east side, really, at the time, the earliest times over here in the flats, over there off 19th and, I guess about 19th and A on up to about 16th and C or something like that. But the village was that close-knit, walkable, all-black village, all-black shire, for any of my Lord of the Rings fans out there, where everybody was, everybody knew each other. We were compacted into a little small area. We had tons and tons of black businesses, hotels, restaurants, tailors, bricklayers. I mean, just name it. We had them. Barbers, beauty shops, of course, those kind of things. Insurance, real estate agents. We had all that stuff on the east side. And these buildings are not even here anymore. Apparently, they were just torn down through urban development, I guess. That never happened. But that's what we're doing on Village Picture Day. February 8th, 11 a to 4 p. Come on over to Cavilles Museum of African American History over there. We'll be there. We'll scan your old school pictures for use in the upcoming documentary called The Village. Might even use some of the good ones here on air. Show them and talk about them a little bit if if it pertains to what we're talking about. And we'll use those pictures in the documentary. And then we will give you in return. You'll stand up. We'll have a backdrop set up, maybe a nice old school looking chair of some sort, maybe some decorations and stuff like that. We'll see. But what you will get is a 5x7 print because we're gonna have you fill out your name and address on the envelope when you get there. So when we scan your stuff in, when we take your pictures, when we make those pictures, we're gonna send them to you right through the mail. So anyway, that's the way it's gonna work. That's Village Picture Day. We hope y'all come see us February 8th, 11A to 4P down at Cavell's this Saturday. Also, we got Rhythm and Rhyme open mic night. It's gonna be on March 8th. I moved that date around a little bit, and the reason I moved that date around a little bit because I got some of the Jenkins boys. We're gonna do a little performance, but we had to kind of sync up schedules and stuff like that. So y'all forgive me for shimmying and shallying a little bit with them dates and times. But Rhythm and Rhyme open mic night number 2, also down at Cavell's Museum, and it's gonna be on March 8th, 2025, starting 6 p.m. going till 9, 6 p.m. to 9 on March 8th. Rhythm and Rhyme open night. Yeah, open night. I say open night. Open mic night. Rhythm and Rhyme open mic night. That's what it's going to be. That's what we're talking about, folks. Come on out and see us. Have a good time. And you will get the pleasure or the amusement, we'll see, of witnessing myself and 2 of my brothers doing a song that we wrote. And we're going to perform it. You know what I'm saying? Music. We made the music. We did the lyrics, everything. Talent, pure talent. Well, we'll see about that anyway. So come check us out March 8th down at Cavell's for the second Rhythm and Rhyme open mic night. Now, we got some other good stuff coming up. I have fallen into a niche or a niche here in the LBK, especially the ELBK, of being kind of a community photographer. Shout outs to all my other community photographers out there. It's several of us. Chris Collins, Real Deal, Ricky Sherfield, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's another guy, Tyler Wright. I haven't met that young brother yet, but we all out there doing and do, man, making these pictures of the community and just trying to record things. Well, one of the gentlemen who came before, one of our elders in the space of making community pictures, is a brother, cool brother. I say it like I know him because I've been researching him so much. He a cool brother named Eugene Rockemore. Eugene Rockemore was a photographer here in the ELBK from the 50s on up through really about the late 80s, early 90s. And we're making a film on him. And we just so happened to have, in our research, come across some info that led us to 2 of his actual family members that still live here. So we interviewed those 2 gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you what, man, now this thing is going to be a real documentary. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just going to be me doing research, reading some books and finding some pictures like I normally would do with some of these films that I've done. But what we're going to do is have these brothers in the film, people that actually knew Mr. Eugene Rockemore. Oh man, I've learned so much about the gentleman. So the point is, I think it's going to be cool. And what I'm thinking about doing, now y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down here. I'm thinking about having a little, what do you call it? Like a premiere. I don't know exactly how long the film is going to be yet. It's not going to be a very long documentary. It's going to be a mini doc. Probably won't be more than 10 minutes long, but we might even show off some of the gentlemen's pictures. We got some of those that Miss Shirley Green and the Roots Historical Arts Council have preserved. He's a cold-blooded dude. I love his pictures, and I'm not going to get into why I love his pictures because I want y'all to check them out, and I want to talk about it more, maybe in person, like I say, with this premiere. So if you would like, let me know down here in the comments if you would like to see a premiere of this film with some, maybe some light refreshments, some pictures on the wall, some of his pictures, and then watch the film, have a little talk about it, a little discussion, a little chit chat. And yeah, I think that'll be dope, man. So anyway, we're thinking about doing that. We're going to try to do it in Black History Month. The film going to be ready sometime around the middle of the month, middle of February. Maybe we'll do this in the last week or 2 of February. We'll see. All right. We got a lot of other stuff going on. While we're doing this research on Mr. Eugene Rockemore, we remembered something that we used to be into and then kind of got away from, and that is Ancestry.com. And they didn't got high, man. I don't remember their prices being that high when I was on them back in like 2012, 13, and 14, but they're a little high, but I did find some good stuff. In fact, I found a ton of stuff about Mr. Rockymore, marriage information, childbirth information, just cool stuff. I also found some information about another one of my great inspirations. Matter of fact, this gentleman right here, you see him on the wall, that's my pop right there. His name is John Laurie. He's from, he's lived his life and had his family and everything up in Haverty Grace, Maryland, which is where that half of my family is from. And this was a cold dude, Pop Laurie, John Laurie. That's why I got him on the wall right there talking on the microphone. You know, you can see the inspiration of clearly, right? But he was a cold-blooded dude. The thing about it is he was an orphan, so we don't know anything about him. We barely know anything about him. And so I was trying to find some info on Ancestry.com. And, you know, it's funny how life works out. So years ago when COVID hit, matter of fact, let's go back before that. Before COVID hit, when I was still active duty in the Air Force, I was a flight chief at one point over the commander support staff. And there was another lady, probably about my age at the time, that when I left that position, she was coming into that position. So I didn't really get a chance to train her, and she and I were, I don't know. It was just one of those things, you know. We kind of had there was a little weirdness there, a little funny, strange feeling. And then years later, during the COVID, we found ourselves on opposite sides of the spectrum during the COVID operation, and we had one of them Facebook discussions. You know how that stuff go. And the thing is, so I'm looking on Ancestry.com the other day. I bring this up because when I'm looking on there, this young lady that I'm talking about, or this lady that I'm talking about, come to find out she has a member of her family named John Laurie who was adopted and lived with her grandfather back in the days, 1900s. And that's, I don't know, it's very interesting. And I'm wondering, like, is this gonna be she gonna have info on my grandpa that I never met, but whom I look like, and who greatly inspires me? This lady gonna have he gonna be in her family? Man, for real? Okay. The Lord works in mysterious ways. I don't know for a fact if Pop is in some way adopted into her family, but there's it's a name congruence there. There's a John Laurie. The dates are roughly similar, I guess. It's going to warrant some looking into. Funny thing, I'm going to have to reach out to this lady, and it's kind of weird after all this time. But you know what? That's what happens when you do research on your family tree and stuff like that. It's just weird. Anyway, yeah, it's one of those things that's going on. That's what's happening right now. Now, the other day, I wanted to tell y'all about, I'm trying to get into a little better shape. So I started doing, I saw a guy on YouTube. He was a former military guy. Now he's a personal trainer. And he was saying that as a personal trainer, he started having to be really selective about his clientele, because people would want him to take them on as clients, but they wouldn't commit, and they would quit after a while. It's a waste of time. So he said, especially if they were really obese and really heavy, he'd be like, oh man. So what he did was he came up with this thing where he said, yo, okay, I will take you on as a client on one condition, and that's if you complete on your own this workout regime that I'm about to give you. And what his workout regime was, it was simply taking an hour walk every day for 30 days, and you take a picture of yourself after the walk and send it to him, text it to him, so he can see that you did it. And he said it's a good way to weed people out. He said it shouldn't be too hard, and it actually is very good for you and will change your body and your mind and everything else, your spirit. You know what I'm saying? So when he was saying that, I was looking at it, I was like, yo, among other things, I got to be able to go for an hour walk every day. In fact, as soon as I get out of here, I got to go for my walk. Before I even start editing, I got to go for my walk, man. But the other day, yesterday, is when I first started my first hour walk. And I did it in, get this, Chapman Hill. Now, I don't want to badmouth Chapman Hill. All of our history in Lubbock centers around Chapman Hill, or so much of it does. So I definitely don't want to badmouth the area. But I tell you what, I probably won't do that again. I'll be going someplace a little more comfortable to do my walking. And I'll tell you why. There's way too many dogs. Yeah, I know. We getting back into that. Stray dogs. I saw a couple of loose dogs. I saw a lot of dogs behind fences that didn't look like they could hold them. Now, while you out there by yourself, now keep in mind, when I walk, I ain't never really by myself, if you know what I'm talking about. But I'm a grown man walking with friends, and I felt uncomfortable walking through Chapman Hill. Not the people, nothing like that. The dogs. It ain't never no little toy poodles running around loose. I don't ever see no little cute dogs that you look at and say, oh, I'll take him home. Nah, it's always some kind of pit bull mix. Some kind of American bully. And people always give me that, oh, yeah. Oh, it's not the dog, it's the owner. Oh, okay. Well, it might not be the dog. It might just be the owner. I know the owner is at risk or is at fault when it comes to these dogs roaming the streets. I know the owner is at fault if the fence ain't good enough and the dog keep getting out. And you know what? It really brings up the other side of the coin. People talk about the dogs a lot, but we don't ever talk about the regular people, the pedestrians that just live in these areas where these dogs are running loose. Do they have any rights? I think any human being has way more rights than any dog. I don't even want to hear about no dog rights. Dogs ain't got no rights. They got the right to do what you want them to do and guard your house or be your pet and make you feel less lonely. That's the rights they got. But they ain't got no rights to be out on the street where I'm scared, where somebody's grandmother or auntie is scared. It's a shame. And I ain't even see nobody walking over here, by the way. That's an interesting thing, because a lot of times in Parkway, for example, I see people walking, but they be having canes and golf clubs and sticks and stuff. That's just disgusting in its sadness. That's so it's such a letdown. It's just disgusting. This is our elders are walking in these hoods. It's supposed to be neighborhoods, but you got pit bulls everywhere. Pit bull terriers, American bullies, all kind of big bad wolf Cujo looking dogs walking all around, and grandma and them trying to go to United. Ain't he trying to go in the library? Can't even get out the car. It's a big old dog right there. Unc with the gray beard trying to do his hour walk around Chapman Hill, and all he see is werewolves, big dogs looking like werewolves and dog men and stuff running all around the area. You know what I'm saying? Come on, LBK. Dog. I know we say dog, but dog, we got to do better than that, dog. Dog, pun intended, dog. You know what I'm saying, dog? Come on, man. That's how we doing. And I'm telling you what, like I say, I'm still young and strong enough to be capable of defending myself. What I can't understand is how an elderly person, somebody grandma, somebody mama, somebody auntie them, heck, somebody grandpa, I can't understand how they gonna be supposedly walking through the hood and supposedly able to defend themselves. Cujo jump on them, you know what I'm saying? I was watching YouTube the other day. I got caught up in this case down in San Antonio, where we used to stay. Man, we were stationed down in San Antonio for about 10 years. And there was a case where this young, silly-looking couple living in kind of a lower economically depressed area, had some big old bad pit bulls they fought each other all the time. And they was always out. And they had attacked several of these people's neighbors over the years. And the couple was always like, oh, you know. Basically like, well, you know, what can we do? But they was always getting out and always attacking people. And finally, they attacked an elderly Air Force veteran, retired gentleman. I think he was about 80 years old. And attacked him and his wife in their own yard. They got out the owners' yards and attacked these people in front of their house. Looked like they was probably getting home from somewhere or something, getting out the car, getting attacked, ate him up, killed him, pulled his dialysis cable out, his dialysis line out, killed him, ate him up, ate her up real bad. She had to go through months of therapy and she still ain't right. And now they sitting in court and the two owners over here snickering and drawing and passing notes. Boy, I felt like, I ain't gonna tell you what I felt like, but you know, you can imagine. I'm glad I wasn't around them folks, because I might not have been able to vouch for their safety. You know what I'm saying? It was so enraging, so disgusting, their callous behavior and complete and utter disregard for the safety of their neighbors over some dogs. I can't see. You might be a dog lover. I'm a cat person myself. I don't hate dogs, but I'm really a cat person. But you, man, you got a big old werewolf in your backyard, but he always out in the streets. That is just really impermissible. It's just really impermissible. The good news, here in Lubbock, we got a pretty bad stray dog problem. But one of the good things that I saw, for example, today, Lubbock Animal Services had a spay and neuter clinic. Basically, they was giving out vouchers to get your dog spayed and neutered. So, and man, it was a line around the block. I'm talking about like a mile of cars. So at least it was well attended. Several hundred people. I think they say they had 200 or 300 vouchers. It was at least that many cars lined up. I hope everybody that needed to get their dog spayed and neutered was able to do so, because I just can't abide by these dang dogs. Big old dogs. If it was toy poodles, that might be acceptable. You know what I'm saying? If it was little chihuahuas, that might be somewhat acceptable. Okay, it's kind of cute. But it ain't really cute. It's really all about personal responsibility. And that's kind of what I'm talking about really in today's show. If you look at it, it's all about personal responsibility. Trying to get out there and move and groove, get a little exercise in. Can't do it because dogs got you halfway scared to death. I don't even want to hear about your dog rights. Your dog ain't got no rights. People have rights. And they do have the right to walk unmolested in their own neighborhood. They ought to. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Why don't y'all tell me how you feel about it? If you one of these people is, oh, my dog won't bite. I'd be like, yo, your dog won't bite you. Your dog don't know me. He might bite me. He bite me, I'm gonna bite him back. For real though. Man, I got two gentlemen, my dad and my father-in-law, who have both been accosted by dogs, big old bad, vicious dogs. And the way the situation turned out, two different outcomes depending on the person. My father-in-law got attacked, I think, in his own yard or right near his own house by his neighbors, Dobermans. They ate him all up. He had to go through surgery and all that stuff. And I don't know what happened to the dogs. Them dogs couldn't have lived after that. They couldn't have been around me and still been alive after that. They gonna have to go get put down. If the city don't do it, we got some other means. You know what I'm saying? And I meant that. On the other hand, when my dad almost got attacked by some dogs, I say almost, he was more in the yard. Two big old dogs ran up on him. He had to spin around with the lawnmower, like, trying to keep the lawnmower between him and the dogs. Well, my dad had some help in his pocket. And let's just say he didn't get ate up. One of them dogs did. You see what I'm saying? And really, I'm going to have to say it, man. That's the real response to this. People, our elders, how shameful is that our elders and family members and children are walking the streets and you got Cujo and them just waiting to pounce on them. That is disgusting and unacceptable because it shows a complete and utter lack of personal responsibility. I ain't going to preach. I'm going to get off my soapbox. Try to keep these short when we don't have a guest. We got some guests lined up for the future, though, so stay tuned. But I guess today's show, man, it's all about personal responsibility. Dogs, guns, health, all that stuff. They all fall under the same rubric, the same heading, personal responsibility. Anyway, if you disagree, let me know. Holla at me down here. We're trying to elevate the conversation in the community. So if you don't like the way I'm saying it, or if you love the way I'm saying it, let me know. Holla at your boy, your brother Robert Jenkins. LBK, this is the Focus LBK. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and we're going to sign off. But before we go, we're going to say peace.